What would you do if you had the cure for cancer in your hands? Most people would answer without hesitation. I'd give it to the world for free. I'd save millions of people. Sounds noble, right? But let's be honest. Would you really do it? We like to think we're generous, altruistic, that we do the right thing. But history tells us a different story. Because when we have something valuable, something everyone needs, our true nature comes to light in ways we never imagined. Let me remind you of something you might prefer to forget. The internet started out free, an open network for sharing information. The pioneers had a utopian vision. They wanted to democratize knowledge. However, look at what we have today. You pay for speed, for data, for premium access. The same providers who promised to connect the world turned a basic necessity into a multi-billion-dollar business that bleeds our wallets every month. But that's not all, because the story gets even darker when we talk about social media. They tell you it's free, and technically they're right, but there's a price we pay without realizing it. You are the product. Your data, your attention, your behavior, everything becomes a commodity. Facebook, Google, TikTok became billionaires selling your information, turning your privacy into their profit while you thought you were getting something for free. Artificial intelligence followed exactly the same pattern, as if there was a secret manual of human greed. They give you a free sample, but always low quality, always limited, always designed to leave you hungry for more. Want the best? Pay for the premium subscription. OpenAI, Claude, Midjourney, they've all followed this perverse formula that turns innovation into a money-making machine. Now imagine this. You have the cure for cancer in your hands. It's yours, it works 100%, and the whole world is watching you. What do you think would really happen? Even if you, with all your goodwill, wanted to give it away for free, the world would conspire against you in ways you can't imagine. Your family would pressure you saying, "This could make us millionaires. Think about our future." Your friends, those who have known you forever, would whisper in your ear, "You'd be a fool to give it away. Take advantage of this unique opportunity." Investors would appear like vultures, knocking on your door with blank checks and golden promises. But the pressure wouldn't just come from those close to you. The media would point fingers if you decided to give it away, questioning your decision. Why not create jobs? Why not boost the economy? Don't you have social responsibility? The government would want to regulate you, tax you, control you, as if you were a threat. The pharmaceutical companies, those corporations that move trillions, would do everything possible to buy you out, or if that fails, destroy you completely. And here comes the cruelest part of this whole reality. You'd start finding justifications that sound perfectly reasonable. Mass production costs money, you'd tell yourself. Global distribution requires massive infrastructure. Continued research needs funding to keep improving. And the most dangerous of all, without money, there's no incentive to keep innovating. Your mind, that perfect machine of self-justification, would start working. I discovered it. I deserve to be rewarded for years of work. If I don't monetize it, what will happen when I need resources for the future? If I sell it expensive, only those who really need it will make the effort to get it. This isn't speculation, it's a pattern we've seen repeated over and over throughout history. Insulin was discovered in 1922, and its inventors, moved by generosity, sold the patent for just $1 because they wanted it to be accessible to everyone. But modern pharmaceuticals have turned that noble decision into a cruel mockery. Today it costs hundreds of dollars per vial, and they've modified the formula just enough to maintain eternal patents that allow them to charge whatever they want. Treatments for rare diseases are even more ruthless. Some cost more than $300,000 a year. The justification? Low demand, high development costs. As if human suffering were a mathematical equation where pain is worth less if it affects few people. Even during the pandemic, when the entire world was in crisis, COVID-19 vaccines that were developed with public money, with resources from all of us, were sold with obscene profits by pharmaceutical companies. Rich countries hoarded doses while millions in poor countries waited and died waiting. So the question isn't whether we're inherently selfish, but why we've created a world where being generous is considered naive and profiteering is considered smart. Maybe it's not pure evil that drives us. Maybe it's evolutionary survival, that ancestral programming that tells us we must protect our own first. Or maybe it's simply that we live in a system that rewards selfishness and punishes generosity. If you had the cure for cancer, you'd probably follow exactly this pattern. You'd start with the best intentions. Social pressure would make you doubt. Economic needs would convince you. You'd end up selling it to the highest bidder. And finally, you'd justify yourself by saying it was all for the greater good. And here's the most uncomfortable truth of all. You shouldn't feel bad about being human. Recognizing our nature, however dark it may be, is the first step to being better. But the real question we should ask ourselves isn't what you would do with the cure for cancer, but what kind of world we've created where saving lives automatically becomes a business. So I leave you with this final reflection. What do you think? Would you really give the cure away for free, or are you already finding a good reason not to? Comment your honest answer. No judgment, just pure honesty. And remember to subscribe if this kind of content makes you think, because uncomfortable truth is always worth it.